I was always obsessed with relationships. I always felt as if I needed to find that one girl with whom I could have the perfect relationship. I always needed to think that I needed to find this one girl that would just suddenly fix all my problems, that would just suddenly make my life 10 times better than it was before. And so this obsession drove me to do some pretty stupid things over the past years, out of which somewhere to just constantly start always scanning and trying to look and always being obsessed over trying to find that one girl somewhere. I'd be in school, I'd be around looking at my classmates, the girls in my class. I'd be out on the hallways just looking at the girls, always being insecure as well, always being scared about it, always being very, very afraid of what would happen if I would just be found out that, oh my god, I'm staring at this girl who's really cute and she, oh my god, like I would be so fucking scared of those kinds of things, right? I would go to handball practice, where we also have this girls team, and I'd be there and I'd just stare at the fucking girls all the time. I would literally not have any kind of fucking intersection, of any kind of mental intersection or focus on what was going on in our team. I'd always just be looking at the girls, and I'd be looking at them, and I would just be having all these kinds of weird fucking stories play up in my mind of how I somehow magically get to be with one of them, like one of the cute ones. And I used to go online. I used to go on Discord, and like this is something that I had never mentioned before, but this is like horrible, right? I used to go on all these fucking random Discord servers hoping to find some girls there, and I'd just be talking to those girls. I'm not even sure if they were girls because like I didn't see the face of most of them. And so, maybe it's like a fucking 30-year-old obese man child behind that fucking Discord avatar, which is probably the case for most Discord users. No, right now I'm shitting on Discord, but I'm using Discord, in my server as well. Quick plug, if you want to join the Discord server, the link is in the description. I used to go and talk to all these girls online as well, and I even got into one relationship with this one girl. I was actually sure she was a girl because I did see her face for like 3 months. We were like dating online. Like, can you even call it dating? I don't think so. It was fucking bullshit. I would go to school to animal practice online. I'd just be out on the street just fucking scanning for any kind of girls. And these were the things that were constantly happening on a daily basis for more than 2 years of my life. Like these are things that just started fucking piling up like this. Ever since I was like 13, it started, and it ended maybe several months ago. Really, through self-improvement, it started ending, right? It started like I stopped really having this fucking feeling, this rush, this need, this urgency to just pile up any kind of ideas and try to find girls and do this and do that, and try to go out with that girl. And maybe that girl's decently cute and whatever. I mean, she's still party, she still drinks, she's still a fucking person that I'd usually not want to be around, but she's cute, so I'm gonna try to ask her out, see how it works out. I'd be doing all of these things just because of the simple fact I felt as if I needed to be in this kind of relationship. I'd go and I I had very few preferences as to what I wanted, as to what kind of girls I wanted to be around. Because at the time I really felt as if I had basically no experience with girls. None, right? And so I would just be looking out for whatever kinds of girls. And maybe to some extent this was a useful thing to have, since I got to meet all kinds of girls from different backgrounds or whatever. And I just kind of ended up building some sort of idea as to what I was looking for in the end. But it just felt as if I was very chaotic and I was just trying to get into relationships with all kinds of girls that just, if I look back on them right now, it would make no sense. It would genuinely, those kinds of relationships where both people, not even relationships, just interactions between two people, right? Where one person has a huge set of things, right, that they want to do in this section, and this guy has a huge set of things he likes to do in this section, but like they are not gonna ever intertwine. So it's just two fucking strangers trying to bond in some way. But it's impossible because there are like two barriers here, and they're just fucking doing that. And they're not getting through, right? It was impossible, and yet I would keep going because, at the time I used to watch all these stupid fucking Hollywood love shows and movies and whatever, where the guy would just be like this fucking nerd or whatever. Like, this is the fucking bullshit they're selling us, man. That there's a fucking nerd out there with like skinny wrists and a skinny neck and everything, and he's just with a fucking bitchy voice, and he's just going around acting like, oh man, like, uh, I really wish I could be with a girl and whatever, but no girl out there likes me because I'm ugly. And then some random fucking perfect girl comes out of nowhere, bro, like absolutely nowhere. And she's like, oh, but I like you. And she's like, whoa, that's crazy. Let's do this. And it's just like fucking bullshit, right? Those kinds of movies. I used to binge those fucking things because you don't, maybe you probably understand, but maybe you don't. Maybe you don't understand just how addictive that can be. To just watch somebody who you can very much relate to, this fucking nerd kind of guy, right? No physical condition, no mental fucking condition, no personality, like a huge piece of shit, right? Like a fucking loser. And he's like, oh man, I really wish I could be with a girl, but no girl out there likes me. And then like the fucking perfect girl comes out from the side, and she's like, oh, but I love you. Yes, oh my god, and like I loved you all along or whatever. And then in the end, they're all happy and they're together and whatever. Happy end. You don't know how addictive that sort of scenario can be. It's so easy to fall in that shit. It's so easy to fall in the fucking scenario, the idea, the dream of doing nothing, literally doing nothing, just being a piece of shit, but still getting the fucking girl. Like, that can be so fucking addictive to all of us because we all have these fucking bitch brains. We all have these bitch fucking opinions about the world where we think, oh, I don't have to do shit. I don't have to work for shit. I'd rather just have everything come to me. And so, I was consuming all of this content. I was just telling myself, yeah, I don't have to do anything. Just be yourself, bro. Just be yourself, man. Like I was being myself. I was playing fucking video games. I was just masturbating 2 times a day, bro. I was fucking doing horrible things, right? I was being myself, but no fucking girl ever even looked at me for a long time. Until I eventually thought to myself, okay, I need to stop this fucking porn shit for my life. Maybe I need to dim down on the video games, bro. Maybe I actually need to get a bit more into shit. Maybe I need to take my handball practice seriously for once. It was only then, only after several fucking improvements, which I thought were minor, but they were quite fucking huge. Limiting my video game intake for a while. Not masturbating anymore. Trying to do like a no facts kind of shit, right? Taking my physical health more seriously. Like, those things, they literally make me 10 times more attractive than before. And I already noticed it, right? And yet, I was still a little bitch. And why is that? It's because I spend so much time around whatever girls I would see on a consistent basis, right? And I used to literally be that one kid that would just get obsessed over whatever fucking girl he was spending his time around. Like, granted, she had to be decent looking and decent, like have a fucking decent personality and mind, right? But once I would see that, I had no fucking standards, no preferences, no nothing. And so I was just fucking obsessing over some random girl that I would randomly see on a daily basis, or a consistent basis, doesn't have necessarily to be daily. And I would obsess over her. Like, genuinely going to sleep at night with fucking hugging my pillow and shit, just thinking about her. That kind of fucking obsessing. And this would happen for years. This happened for years in my life where I just found whatever random fucking girl and I would just obsess over her and daydream over her and just fucking bullshit. Absolute bullshit. I became a lot more feminine in that time. You might wonder why. Why is that? I mean, you're a guy, like, why did you become so much more feminine about it? Why were you acting like such a little fucking bitch? Why were you acting like, oh yeah, I don't have to do any kind of work and I'll just randomly get the girl, right? It's because I was spending so much time around those random girls that I would see. I was trying my best to just spend so much time around them because this is the way that I thought I would get the girl. By just spending every possible fucking minute of my day with her. By just always being around her and always trying to just do well by her and be right and always be like politically correct and never try to offend her in any fucking way possible and just try to be like the fucking perfect ass kisser. Like that was my strategy, right? Be the perfect ass kisser and maybe she'll fucking look at you. That was the fucking strategy, the fucking plan that I was using at the time. I didn't know back then. I didn't call it this way because that would have just made me feel mad. No, back then, I would just lie to myself and say, "Oh, I'm respecting her boundaries, I'm just trying to be nice." By always spending time around her, always being a little bitch, always being like very ass kissy. By always just trying to do well by her, never ever upset her about anything and never ever like offend her about anything. All these kinds of things, right? Try like essentially be that one best friend that all of these random girls have. That one guy best friend, right? That one guy who's just there. That one feminine guy who instead of like hanging out with some guys, hanging out with some boys, doing something, right? No, he's just spending all his time around fucking girls. And he's becoming more feminine and feminine. So the girls are like, well, you're matching my energy, so why don't you be my friend? And I was their friends. For most of these girls that I liked and I was obsessing over them, bro, I was their best friend, right? I knew they would open up to me about all these kinds of random fucking weird things, maybe. All these kinds of things. They would open up to me. I was that one listener guy as well, right? Who just listen and he'd give random fucking stupid advice. Thinking back on it now, it's just stupid advice, right? And yet I liked those girls and I wanted to be with them and I thought to myself, like, what am I doing? I'm sitting here wasting hours, days, weeks, months, years on one girl and she shows no sign of attraction to me. She thinks that I'm her best friend. And that's when I thought to myself, maybe things have to change. Maybe this is not gonna fucking work out. And so with most of these girls, at some point, whenever I realized that I was just being that one best friend that had no fucking correlation with any kind of romantic interest to that one girl, I thought to myself, yeah, I'm just gonna tell her that I like her, and if she likes me, cool. If not, then I'm gonna move on. And most of the time, I knew that it was just me, and it was not her as well. And that's I would tell her. She'd say, "Yeah, no, I don't like you." I just suddenly lose interest, and I had a crazy amount of time where I was just motivated to just remain that one friend. I was like, "Oh well, you don't like me, but I'm still gonna be your friend." Like a fucking dumbass, right? A little piece of shit. And in this period of time, while I was spending so much time around them, just trying to be their best friend, just trying to be ass kissy as fuck, right? My authenticity, who I truly was, went out the fucking window. I was no longer myself. Like, at this point in time, back then, probably if you were to somehow meet my younger self back then and ask him, when was the last time you truly felt as if you are true to yourself? When was the last time you truly felt as if you're authentic? And if you would have asked that question in a mature way, and I would have like unsurprisingly, acted in a mature way about it and answered in a mature way, I would have probably told you, yeah, I don't know. Maybe several years ago. I don't fucking know. It had been years by that point where I felt as if had been truly authentic to myself. At that point in time, I only felt as if the only periods in which I had been authentic were when I was just in my younger years, in my childhood. And I was just on my own, I was with my brother and we were just playing around, having no fucking worries about anything. But once things changed a little bit, once I started going into general school and everything, I realized that my authenticity stopped existing. That I had no longer been authentic for so fucking long. And so I developed all these kinds of traits which these girls had and that I wanted to also develop, and so I could just be more similar to them, because again, that was my theory back then. Try to get as close as you possibly can to this girl. And maybe at some point she's gonna be like, "Oh, I've always loved you, and I love you and I adore you." Like, that was my fucking strategy, man. That just sounds stupid as fuck when you think about it, doesn't it? God damn. And yet, I was doing that. I was developing all these kinds of weird, stupid fucking traits, all these stupid fucking opinions about the world, which all of these girls, by the way, developed while using social media. I didn't have Instagram back then, I didn't have TikTok, I didn't have Snapchat, I didn't have whatever the fuck, Be Real, like whatever the fuck people used back then, right? I didn't have any of those. And yet, just by spending time around those kinds of girls, I got the same influence that I would have ended up getting if I spent that time, instead of talking to them, if I would have spent that time on social media. On like all these kinds of different fucking social medias. The same fucking opinions, the same beliefs, the same thoughts, the same wants and needs and desires, which were fake, by the way. My life became shallow at that point. My life became a fucking nightmare to go through. I remember having days when I would wake up in the morning and I'd simply feel like I just didn't want to exist. I just simply feel like I didn't want to go through this day. That I'd rather just sit in my bed and just kind of melt into a puddle of nothingness. And not exist anymore, because I just didn't feel like I wanted to confront the next day. I didn't feel like I wanted to just get fucked in the ass by the next day. And so my life back then, it felt shallow, it felt unfulfilling, it felt horrible to go through. I don't say this lightly. I don't say this just as a quick side note. My life truly felt miserable back then. And maybe in comparison to other people's lives who were living much shittier than I was, because granted, back then I still had amazing parents, I still had an amazing family, blah blah blah, but I didn't know that. It's only recently that I've realized just how beautiful and amazing my family is. But back then, I thought my family were some fucking demons that just wanted to just throw shit at me constantly, right? So I was living like that. I was living as if everyone around me just wanted to fucking bash my skull in. And I felt like I was alone. I could not talk about those problems that I felt like I was having with any of those fucking girls that I was trying to be close to, and like I was basically their best friend, right? I could not talk to any of them about my problems, because that would just make me seem weird. Because that would just go against the entire personality that I had built up until that point, just to look good. Just to maybe try to get an inch closer to what it means to to them. And so that I could maybe get like a 5% chance of them telling me, "I always loved you, I always adored you." Like, I destroyed my fucking entire personality. My authenticity was gone for some random girls, which I don't think about whatsoever anymore. See, authenticity, although my authenticity had been taken away, it is a trait that you can develop again. It is a trait that comes back. It is something that it doesn't even live. Like, this is the baseline, this is zero, this is nothing, right? Your authenticity is maybe here before, and once you just start faking it and you're faking it and you're just acting like somebody else, maybe you can literally bring it as close to here, but never here or under. Like it's impossible, right? You can never bring it to nothingness, to the void. It's always, you will always have authenticity. But in such a little fucking dose that you don't even recognize it's there. But once you start, like the second you fucking think to yourself, man, I need to get a fucking hold of myself, man, I need to get my shit together, your authenticity just fucking does that. From here, it just fucking does that like that. And every single fucking time that you say anything true about yourself, about the world, about what you believe, what your authentic thoughts are about something, it just goes up and up and up and up and up and up. Up until it shoots through the roof. Like, this is how it works. The more you're authentic with yourself, the more authenticity you end up developing. And the farther you get away from the baseline. And so, I've only thought about it now, but absolutely none of the relationships that I had gone in, or like the relationships that I tried to pursue, with any of those girls, none of them happened because I was not authentic. None of them worked out. The longest I've gone was 3 months with this random fucking girl online that I saw her face maybe and I talked to her on fucking video and whatever. But that was it. That was God knows how much time ago. What? 3 years ago, I think that was. Yeah, it was 3 years ago. That girl. 3 years ago, 3 months, that was like the most I've went because I was not authentic whatsoever. And I've only realized that now. It's the only reason why none of those relationships worked is because I was not authentic whatsoever. And maybe even while I was authentic, maybe if I would have been authentic, maybe things would have worked out either, because this is another point that I'm going to get to soon. But you need to understand a truly functional, beautiful relationship is not about the best relationship strategy you can adapt. It's not about the best pill that you are gonna find. It's not about the red pill. It's not about you acting like a fucking alpha male trying to fucking avoid her and try to avoid her and ignore her and make her feel like she's whatever. It's not the blue pill. It's not you acting like a fucking bitch like I was. Just exactly like I was. And it's definitely not the black pill. It's not you acting like, oh my god, I don't deserve love. This shit is fucking bullshit. Everybody's a piece of shit. I'm a piece of shit as well. The world is a piece of shit. Those are the free fucking options that the internet and that all these fucking random dumbasses online give you. Free fucking options. But nobody mentions the most effective, best, and the only fucking way to get into a actually good, functional, beautiful relationships with a woman. It's to be yourself. It's to be authentic. You know, this is when the quote, just be yourself, works best. And you've probably heard that and you're like, what the fuck? Did you just fucking quote that? Did you just quote the damn sentence saying, just be yourself? Are you crazy? You know, if I would have heard this several months ago, I probably thought of the same thing. But, you know, decently recent experiences with this girl just led me to actually not even remember, like just understand and build up the belief. And I'm convinced of this 100% that there's no way around authenticity. There's no way around you being in a good, functional, beautiful relationship while not being authentic. It's just simply impossible. And maybe you think to yourself, well, you know, this person and this person, they're very happy together, but you know, this guy, he doesn't act like he usually does around other people. He doesn't act like that around the woman. He's always fake. But you know, they seem very happy. Have you seen them when they're alone, bro? Have you seen them on their own? No, you haven't. So how can you fucking say, oh yeah, they're happy, so you know, it means that I should follow the same deal and get there? No, because most of those people, they look good in public, don't they? They look amazing in public. You look at them, you're like, oh my god, these people, they are amazing together, right? They're beautiful people together. But the second that they're on their own, the second that it's this girl, this guy, and they're on their own without anything else around them, there's nothing there. There's absolutely nothing there. Just fucking bullshit. All of this, the entire idea of this video, I could just end the video right now at like the 23-minute mark and just tell you that, yeah, it all comes down to you. But I'm gonna talk more into this because this is a really important topic to go into. And I think that a lot of people will benefit from having a lesson about how authenticity works and how they can develop that as well. You are your own pill. You're your own pill, right? It's the Cosmin pill. It's your pill. It's random guys out there, names, insert blank name there, pill. It's not the red pill, it's not the blue pill, it's not the black pill, no. It's you. You are your own fucking pill. But you need to understand that this authenticity comes down to how much you've developed your character, right? How much you physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally developed yourself. That's your authenticity. That's what it comes down to. Your own pill, my Cosmin pill, comes down to my physical self, to my mental self, to my emotional self, to my spiritual self. That's what it comes down to. In the face of adversity and diversity, you need to stick to your values. You need to remain with your plan and you need to follow through. That's the idea behind authenticity. That's the idea behind being authentic. And maybe another good definition to that would be that you need to be true with your desires, with your goals, with your ambitions, with your current purpose or mission, whatever you want to call it. Those are two definitions that I can give you about being authentic. The first one is that you need to be, in the face of adversity and diversity, you need to stick to your values, to your plan, and follow through with it. Right? That is a bigger, broad definition that some people think they understand, but they probably fucking don't. Like, I don't understand just how much it means, but I know it's there and I know it exists. And so, but the second one, which I think is much more, has a lot more description to it, and I think like it's much more useful, is that by being authentic, you're basically being true to yourself. You're being true to your desires, to your goals, to your ambitions, to your current mission, your purpose. You set your priorities straight. That's what it means to be authentic. You being yourself, it doesn't mean, oh yeah, I'm just gonna be myself and I'm just gonna listen to my fucking bullshit brain that's been conditioned for years. It's been socially conditioned for years to act like, oh yes, I really believe this is good for me, but you don't even think that it's some fucking random guy out there putting that fucking image in that image in your brain, and your brain is now thinking, oh yeah, this is actually my belief and my thought. No, it's not. It's some random fucking guys out there. It's not yours. You don't act like, oh yes, I'm myself. Yeah, just be yourself. Yeah, I'm myself. By spending time playing fucking video games, by fucking masturbating, by eating junk food, by spending time with people that don't give a fuck about me. People who are shit that I just know that I shouldn't be around. Yeah, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna try to talk to this random fucking girl on the street. And I'm gonna act like a fucking red pill, blue pill guy. Like, that's not you. You playing video games, you doing whatever fucking bad habit you can name, whatever habit that you know is bullshit that you can name, that's not you. That's your fucking bullshit brain acting on whatever somebody, random people out there on the internet, in real life, outside of your fucking brain, whatever those people have fucking put in your own mind, whatever those people have conditioned you to think of. Being authentic is your true desires, your true mission, your true goal in life. your true current purpose, whatever you truly want to do at this very moment. Setting aside all fucking distractions of any sorts. What is the one thing that you truly want to do in this moment? This could be like a nice question that you could journal about, and I think it will set you pretty damn well for your current purpose. If you're struggling to find out what it is. What is the one thing that I really, really want to do while setting aside whatever fucking distractions of any sorts? Just me and my fucking brain. What is it that I want to do? Maybe you can journal this again. It might be nice. Now I'm gonna give you an example. You walk past the fucking street and you're looking at a girl. This is an example of authenticity. You walk past the street, there's this cute girl, and you get the fucking balls, which is quite crazy, right? You get the fucking balls to actually go and talk to this girl. She's within your age group, whatever. The social setting is proper, it's like nothing weird, right? So you go up to her and you say hello, whatever. Maybe it's at a party or whatever. Anything, right? It doesn't matter where. You find this one cute girl that you think you really want to be with. But instead of you just suddenly changing your personality, just suddenly changing the way that you see yourself, just suddenly changing the way that you think, just suddenly changing your opinions, your desires, your needs, your beliefs about yourself, and trying to act like this fucking Chad. This guy who has no problems and he's just like laid back all the time. He's cool, he's whatever. Open body language all the time, like a fucking whatever. Yeah? Instead of trying to do that, you actually remain who you truly are. Instead of you just suddenly adapting this stupid approach to this girl, you just do what you would talk to her with the same kind of warmth, love, and gratitude, and interest, and whatever you want to name it, that you would talk to your mother. You would talk to this woman in your life that is so close to you, that you just love, that you fucking love. Maybe if you don't have a good relationship with your mother, it could be whatever loved one, whatever girl, whatever woman that is very close to you, that is a loved one. That's how you talk to her. And again, like you wouldn't talk to this girl exactly as you would with your fucking mom, right? You need to adopt slightly different approaches to things. Cannot just don't be a smartass about it. It's like, oh, I'm gonna go to her and be like, hey mom, what do we have for dinner? Like that's a horrible fucking joke. I'm sorry. I have two questions here for you that I want you to very much think about, and I want you to even journal if you have the time. You probably have the fucking time. Don't bullshit yourself. Take out your fucking journal, take out a piece of paper, take out a pen, right? I have two questions here for you. I want you to pay attention, right? The first one is, who are you in your usual environment? I'm going to repeat that. Who are you in your usual environment? That's the first question about authenticity. The second question about authenticity is, how are you usually like by yourself or with very close loved ones? How are you usually like by yourself or with very close loved ones? Those are the two questions that I want you to ask yourself. And I want you to even write down. I want you to really, really think about it. You don't have to do this exactly right now, but I would very much recommend that you do this now. Maybe you pause the video and you just journal that down and then you come back to the video. And maybe you don't get all the answers right now because there might be some broad questions. Keep watching the video, finish the video, and keep doing that. Maybe it'll take a day, maybe it'll take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days, a week to fully answer those questions. But if you can manage that, that's so much better, bro, because now you've gotten a clear written idea of how you are by yourself or when other people are around you that are very close to you and that you love. People that you don't have any problem with being authentic. Now that you have this understanding of how your personality is once when you're on your own or when you're with very close loved ones, now you can start to implement that same kind of authenticity in the relationships or whatever pursuit of a relationship that you try to have with a girl. That's how it works. That's how I think it works. You need to be authentic within the proper social setting and context, right? This is something that I mentioned before, but it's very important, right? Because again, there's gonna be some fucking smartasses out there who are gonna act like, oh yeah, okay, well then I'll just go and talk to her like how I would with my mom, or with my grandma, or some random person that you really love and who's close to you. You don't want to talk the same, right? Again, you need to be authentic within a proper social setting and context. You're talking to a girl at a party. You're talking to a girl, hopefully not at a party, because most of the time, most parties, maybe some are nice, right? Maybe some don't have to be degenerate, but most parties out there are degenerate. Let's be fucking honest. Maybe not at a party. Hopefully, maybe in school, maybe on a mountain trek, and you see like a really cute girl, or I don't know, you go on a walk in the forest in the middle of the night and you see a fucking girl standing there. You need to be authentic within the proper social setting and context. Like the context is that you're there and this is a girl, this is a person that you don't know, or maybe that doesn't know you very well. And so you're not gonna talk to her like with this fucking whatever, because she's gonna be weirded out, right? You're gonna have to still be polite, you're gonna still have to have all these kinds of things, but you need to keep the same energy you would have with a random loved one that you really care about, that you love, and also add like this idea, this intention of, yeah, I want to be with this girl. Like, I want to be with this girl. I want to attract her, right? I want to be in a relationship with her. And so, aside from that authentic energy that you're getting just from imagining her as another close loved one, you keep in mind the intention that, yeah, I also want to be with this girl. And so that's going to help you out, I believe. 99% of the girls out there won't like your authentic self. Maybe, the portion can vary, I don't know, but it feels like 99% of the girls out there probably won't really like the way that you are. They probably, I'm going to be brutally honest here, because I know this is painful to hear, but 99% of the girls out there will see you, will see your character, will see you working hard, will see you and your ambitions and your desires and your true needs and your purpose and mission. And you might think to yourself, that could be really attractive to a girl. You're starting to think about it. 99% of girls out there, like 9 out of 10 girls, won't like you. They'll just think, well, not like it will be then it should be like 90%, my bad, but you get that point, right? Like very few girls that you'll meet will actually like your true authentic self. So let's take like 10 girls, right? Maybe let's say the percentage is 90 just for the sake of it. Like 90% of girls won't like who you truly are. Like 9 out of 10 girls won't like you. You can meet 10 girls, from all walks of life, from whatever, right? And the chances are that 9 of them won't like you. If you're truly authentic with them, if you're doing everything right and you're not bullshitting yourself, then 9 of those girls probably won't like you. Probably won't be attracted by you in that way. But one girl out of those 10, bro, she will be attracted by your authenticity. She will be attracted by the way that you look, that you feel, that you speak in this authentic manner, and she'll actually like that. And once you've gotten to the point where you find this one girl who you can be authentic around, you don't have to fake anything, you don't have to fake yourself at all. And she actually likes that, she seems really into it, and you look at her and you think to yourself, yeah, this is a girl that meets my standards. Because I have higher standards for myself, so I should also have higher standards for the people around me. So this girl is somebody who kind of meets my standards. She's cute, she's nice, and she's feminine, and she hasn't been fucking fucked over by the degenerate propaganda out there. And she likes me for who I truly am. Fuck yeah, let's do it. Perfect. And I'm telling you, a relationship with a girl like that will last 10 times longer than any fucking relationship one of those other 9 girls. Like, this is not something, you don't have to be big brain smart for it. Like, this is quite simple shit, right? You just have to think about it. Of course she's gonna, if you can be around her and be authentic all the time, then you don't have to fake anything. And when you're faking something, you're just trying to attract this girl and be with her while not being authentic, you are only bringing worse things to the table. You're only acting like you're some random fucking chat when you're with her, and when you're not with her, you feel fucking exhausted. You feel like, holy shit, that was painful, that was tiring. Instead of just actually having like a nice mood, like a nice energy, feeling like, oh yeah, that was nice. I was actually enjoying that. I felt like I didn't have any pressures on me. But, with every single one of the girls that I tried to be with at the time, even now, like in the past recent months, I felt as every time I tried to talk to him, it felt as if I was single-handedly, personally putting a pressure on myself. Putting a pressure on myself when just simply having an interaction with them. And it's only now that I realized it's because that pressure was the facade. It was the fake personality, the fake person that I was trying to be to look good, to try to kiss their ass. But once you don't have to you can take away the mask, you can take away the bullshit fake personality, you can take away all of that. When it's just yourself, with your true authentic goals and needs and desires and opinions about the world, now you are yourself, you feel free, you feel strong. And if there's a girl out there who also likes that, then you don't have to feel pressured whatsoever. Because most people, like, let's not fucking bullshit ourselves. Nobody out there, not most people, like literally everyone out there will not, no one out there will have the capability to carry out this fake personality, this fake kind of ass kissing, whatever you want to call it. Because in the end, it's kind of the same deal, right? Nobody can carry this on forever. It's impossible. Because at some point you're bound. Something is gonna happen. Some bullshit is gonna happen to you. Some bad event is gonna come up in your life, and that's when you're not gonna feel like putting on the fake facade anymore. That's when you're gonna feel like you just want to be authentic, but you know that you cannot even be authentic, because you being authentic to this woman who's been attracted by through the past months and years by a fake version of you. She's not going to be attracted by you anymore. And maybe you know that, maybe you don't. But I'm telling you, trying to act authentic after attracting a girl through a different kind of fucking personality, through a fake personality, for whatever, it won't work. It will not work. Because that girl has been attracted to a fake version of you, and now you're trying to be true around her, and she's going to think, who the fuck is this guy? Like, this was not the guy that I was attracted to. See ya, bye-bye. That is a miserable thing to happen, man. Fucking miserable thing to happen. If you want to avoid heartbreak, like genuine fucking heartbreak, then you need to be authentic with yourself. You need to be authentic with who you are. You need to be authentic with the other person from the start. Not in between, not at the end, not one day after, not whatever, no, just from the start. Ever since you meet that girl, you need to be authentic with who you are, with what you want, with your standards, with your beliefs, with your desires, I just cannot pronounce that if I say it too fucking often. With your expectations and everything. You need to be authentic from the start. That's the only way that's gonna work. And with all these, maybe you might be a bit demoralized, thinking, oh man, 9 out of 10 girls probably won't like my authentic self. Well, that's like an extra reason for me to try to be authentic, because I can boost my fucking numbers. You don't need to boost your numbers. It takes one girl and you've hit the fucking jackpot. If it's one girl that you can be authentic with for the rest of your life, that's it. You don't need any other girls. You already have the one that you love, that she loves you, and like it's actual love. You don't need to boost your fucking numbers. You don't need to act like a playboy. You're not. You're a random guy who wants to be in a relationship with a cute girl who likes him. Let's be honest. This is what you want. Why act like it's not? And so when all of these 9 girls, you'll go on like maybe you'll go on an initial date with them, or maybe you'll just tell them about your interest and everything before. They'll just not seem attracted to you, like those 9 girls, right? They'll just not seem attracted, or maybe they'll just end up at some point leaving you. You're gonna feel like shit. You're gonna feel like, oh man, fuck me, happened again. You're gonna feel like, oh man. But you don't have to be scared of rejection. You don't have to be scared of this idea that you're not compatible. You should be happy each and every time that one of these girls, which probably from the start you can kind of tell when she's not for you. Maybe it takes several few days to get to know the person before you can actually figure it out. But if you kind of know that she's not right for you, and now she's actually showing signs that she's not interested in that, that's perfect. And that's perfect because you've just dodged a bullet, which would have probably made you feel horrible, when you had to break up with this girl from maybe several months later or several fucking years later. Like, imagine going into like a 2-year-long relationship and then just quitting because, she's just not attracted to you anymore. What a fucking horrible way to go for it, isn't it? You don't want that. So, if a girl's not attracted to you, great. Let her be. You're one step closer. You're one girl closer to finding that one girl out there who you actually can be with. And who will be worth the fucking pay. Who will be worth the effort. Not attracted? Cool. Carry on. Attracted? Great. There you fucking have it. That's the deal. And so, maybe you're wondering, how can I convey my authenticity clearly? I've mentioned like some definitions. Okay, well, this is kind of how you're doing, right? Some more descriptive, more easy ideas to follow through. I got the answer, right? You need to be honest to yourself. You need to be honest to yourself. You need to be honest to yourself about your desires, about your needs, and about your beliefs, opinions, and mindset, etc. Like, you need to be honest to yourself about who you are internally and externally as well. But once you focus on the internal part, once you focus on being honest with your own brain, with your own thoughts, with your own mind, then you're gonna end up naturally being honest with yourself, with your physical appearance. And you also need to be authentic. You need to be honest, right, to the other person. Now, this honesty, again, within the proper social setting and context. You're not gonna go up to a girl and your brain is gonna think, nice tits, nice ass, and you're just gonna say, because you're honest, right? You're not just gonna go, hey, nice tits, nice ass. You're not gonna say that. Like, you're gonna think to yourself, yeah, she's pretty damn attractive. But you're not gonna fucking say that because that's gonna be weird. Right? Let's not be fucking stupid here. Right? But you need to be honest when it comes to you need to be honest to yourself first, about everything in your mind. And then you also need to be honest to that person within the proper social setting and context. That this is who I am. Right? This is how I think. This is how I see the world. This is how I see you. This is how I see myself. What do you think? Do you like it? If not, then cool, I'm gonna move on. If you like it, then that's great. You don't have to give that specific fucking question because that would be weird. But like, this could be some kind of like a way to go through it. For you eventually, throughout the few dates that you might go on to with this girl, or the time that you spend talking to her, you convey authenticity, you convey who you are. You talk about your interests. You talk about the things that truly matter to you. You talk about your desires, your needs, your beliefs, within the proper social setting and context. Right? and you pay attention to her. If she seems attracted to you, if she seems as if she's really into that, she really likes listening to you, she really likes hearing you talk about those kinds of things, then that's your green flag. If she seems dishonest to you, like you're trying to be honest with her and she's like dishonest with you, or she just seems like very hesitant to share her own life and all those kinds of things, then that's a red flag. If she feels like she's not really that interested in hearing about it and whatever, then that's a red flag. Don't fucking go forward. And you're gonna dodge a bullet. But if you keep going forward, then you're gonna fucking take that bullet straight on here. Your own nature, nature, I think it could be assimilated to personality. Like the words, they could be they're like synonyms, maybe. I don't know. But to me, they are. Your own nature, your own personality, whatever you want to call it, is more valuable to you than anything else you could possess. Because, you might think, oh, is it more fucking valuable than a Lamborghini? Yes, it is. Because how many fucking people out there possess Lamborghinis? Thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of people possess a Lamborghini. It's like not a big deal, right? Maybe you can loan one yourself. Like I wouldn't fucking recommend it because it's probably gonna fucking eat your money out. But if you really want the Lamborghini, you can have the Lamborghini, right? You put in a few years of work, you get to a good step of your life, right? You get some good financial freedom going, you get some money stored up, and you buy the fucking Lamborghini like a dumbass, right? I would not recommend buying a fucking Lamborghini. But yeah, you can get that. You can get whatever the fucking shit you want to get. But nobody out there, absolutely no one in the world, will have the same nature as you do. Because that idea that we're all different from each other, it's true. We are all going to be slightly, even if you find somebody that's almost like identically similar, that's like identical to your personality and whatever, they're not going to be the same because they will have like slight things in there, slight little adjustments, which will make their entire personality different, which will make it seem worlds apart from yours. And so each and every single one of us, even if we have similar personalities to other people, they are not the same, never will be the same. And you will notice, even when you're with people with a similar personality, and you're trying to get more of their personality into yours, it'll just feel weird. It'll just feel like not nice. But when you are with your own personality, and that's it, with your own adjustments and everything that you have personally, that you biologically had, that you've developed over your childhood, that maybe you can change. Maybe if they're like good traits, then you keep them. If they're bad traits, then you get rid of them. But with that is yours and yours only. No one else's. It's yours and yours only. No one else will possess that. So why would you fucking try to throw that away? And no man out there, no person, no human being out there feels truly happy and fulfilled and connected to other people when they're not authentic, when they're not truly themselves. No, like you can see like all kinds of fucking cool pictures and videos about people going to parties, and acting like whatever, and they're like laughing and doing all that. That's like present moment, that's instant gratification. But when you think about the long term, somebody in that scene is more likely to be fucking depressed, anxious, insecure, bored with life, pissed off at the world, than somebody who has like a tight group of friends and he's authentic with all of them. They all know that they know each other like fucking brothers. They know each other like they're literally in each other's minds. That is a much stronger bond that you can have compared to just going to a random fucking party and having the best time of your life, in like 1 hour, 2 hours. And then just the fucking pain and the bullshit and the horrible negative thoughts come in. Living a life in which you're not honest, living a life where you don't want to convey your actual opinion about something, where you don't want to convey your actual needs and desires about something because they might not be what everyone likes. Like, this is something that a lot of people deal with, and I deal with it myself. A lot of people out there probably don't like who I am. A lot of people out there think that I'm some fucking jerk. Maybe some random people out there think that I'm a pussy. Random people, like, all kinds of opinions. All kinds of opinions. But this is who I am, and if I know that if I fucking stop being who I am, I'm gonna go back to the same fucking feelings that I had God knows how much time ago. Several months ago, maybe. I'll go back to those feelings in my mind, and I don't ever want to go back to that. Like, that's fucking bullshit. That was a horrible way to live my life. Empty, unfulfilling, boring. Boring. I don't want to have a boring life. I want to live a truly beautiful life. Exciting life. By my own terms. Not the fucking exciting term that all these kinds of fucking social media brainwashed people think. Oh yeah, exciting means going to parties and taking drugs and fucking lots of girls. That's not my exciting. My exciting is fulfilling my own purpose in life, fulfilling my goals, my ambitions, and setting new ones, and achieving those as well, and setting new ones and achieving those as well, and the process goes on and on. That's the deal. You need to be honest with yourself. Living a life in which you're not honest is a life lived in pain, regret, and misery. That's what I had to tell you, man. If you're currently pursuing a relationship right now, if you're watching this video and you're currently, talking to this one girl, or you're about to go on a date with this girl, or you're just thinking about actually ended up like maybe you're doing this weird thing where you're actually looking at the girl and you're seeing how she is before you actually properly interact with her. I don't know if that sounds weird, but maybe you do that as well. Maybe when you see a girl, you don't just instantly go up to her and, a girl that you like, you maybe look at her, you actually think, well, what kind of a person she is. You don't just jump into it, right? Or maybe you just have like brief social interactions where you talk to her, or you say hello and you see how she reacts. You talk, a bit about this, briefly about that, and you can see if she's the kind of person that you think that you'd like to be with, right? This is what I've done in the past weeks, with this one girl at the gym. Instead of just one day being like, hey, I think you're really cute, you want to go out? Instead of saying that, instead of just trying to jump into it, no, I said hello first. I talked to her. This went on for like 10 different workouts, right, that I had at the gym. I'd say hello, and I'd say, how are you doing? I'd see how she is, and she talked to me about some things, and then she'd eventually, talk about what she's done through the day and whatever, and I'll say something as well. But I'll be mostly listening, and I'll be judging what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing and everything, and I think to myself, yes, I really want to be with this girl, or no, I don't want to be with this girl. It's not worth pursuing. And this is what happened. I talked to this girl, and she was telling me about some crazy party that she went to, where she got drunk or whatever, or how she went to a club and she was drunk. I was like, no. And then, from there on, I wasn't like a bitch about it. I just I dimmed down the social contact that I had with her. I just kind of really, I'd say hello, but I wouldn't really go into like a bunch of more conversations with her as I usually would. I just kind of say hello and go on about my business, like no big deal, right? But just for those interactions, I realized that, yeah, that's a big deal, right? Maybe you can do that as well. Maybe that's a big deal as well for you, but right, to get to the initial point, because this was a bit of a side rant. If you want to really create a bond, if you feel like this girl that you're with, or you're trying to pursue, if you feel like she likes your authentic self, if you feel like she's there, and you want to continue, then I have some tips for you that I've gained over the past while, that I've realized, that I've thought about, that I've heard from other people that are very, very experienced people who I respect very much. And I don't say that very lightly. I don't respect a lot of people very much, but these are people that I truly respect, that truly have my respect. And so maybe that could be like a degree of trust to go by. with shared experience, with shared physiology, physiology as in what your body feels, and specifically what your body feels. With shared experience or shared physiology, right? You create stronger bonds. By you and this girl, maybe let's say you go out to a place, you're a restaurant where there's music, right? You can dance. And by both of you going out to that place, hearing the same music, being in that place, and hopefully both of you dancing, right? Maybe she likes to dance, maybe you like to dance. By both of you dancing, by both of you doing the same, having the same physiological state, you're gonna create stronger bonds. This is something proved biologically, by the way. This is not some fucking wishy-washy shit. These are fucking things that came out from studies, from well-known studies, in good journals, in good published science journals, right? That if you are with another person that you want to create a strong bond with, and this doesn't just have to apply to relationships, it can be with friends, with whatever. If you want to create stronger bonds, then you have to go through specific physiological experiences together. I don't know, you go on a run together with a friend, right? You both go on the run, you're both in that experience, maybe you're talking through it, maybe you're not, maybe you're just there existing. That's gonna create a stronger bond between you, instead of just you, I don't know, doing whatever, like, I don't know, you playing on the computer and him eating like a fucking bag of Cheetos just looking at you play. Like, that will be much worse and just bullshit, right? But both of you going on a run, both of you going on a mountain hike. Like, imagine that, both of you going on a mountain hike where you're both seeing essentially the same things around you. You're both in the same physiological state of trekking up a mountain. You're both hearing the same things, you're seeing the same things, and you're talking to each other. That is going to create a much stronger bond between two people. Shared experience means shared physiology, shared body states, right? That person. And that equals a stronger bond. When you synchronize your cognitive state, this is also like a very well documented biological fact that when you synchronize your cognitive state with another person, like, by cognitive state, I mean that you understand how the person feels and thinks, right? By synchronizing the cognitive states, you understand how the other person feels and thinks, and vice versa. And so you understand what the other person feels and thinks, and the other person also understands what you feel and think. And so that's a synchronization of cognitive states. Cognitive comes from what you perceive in your mind, right? That's what it comes from. And so cognitive state is what you're perceiving, your state of perceiving things. Your state of seeing things, your state of... And again, like, this is a disclaimer, you don't have to be on the same side as the other person to have a synchronized cognitive state. That doesn't mean that you have to agree to what the other person thinks, because this might be like something that some people think about it's wrong, right? You don't have to agree with everything the person says. Like, let's say you're with a girl out there or whatever, you're walking, you're going on a mountain hike, you're going on a run. Like, I don't know, I really like those examples. They seem really cute and nice to me. And if she's just she's talking about something and you have no idea what she's talking about, or you have literally you cannot understand what she means by that, you don't understand the kinds of message she wants to portray with that. You don't understand, you don't have the empathy to kind of put yourself in her shoes and understand what she's feeling, what she's thinking, then you're gonna have a much, much worse bond. Your bond is actually gonna deteriorate, I think. Instead of actually shooting up, like creating a stronger bond by you actually understanding what she's talking about, understanding what she's thinking, understanding what she's going through when she's mentioning that. That is valuable. Like, that is valuable. By you having the empathy in order to understand how the other person thinks and feels, by synchronizing your cognitive state of your own with the other person, and the other person synchronizing their cognitive state with your cognitive state. So it has to be reciprocal. It cannot be just you with this person. It also has to be this person that understands how you feel. It has to be on both sides. And so I have this is kind of like an add up from the past 2 points, right? So your shared physiology and your synchronization of cognitive states. So basically, your shared physiology is like bodily empathy, right? You understand how the other person feels, or you kind of you have an idea of how the other person feels, in their body. Maybe when you're doing like when you have shared physiologies, when you're kind of doing a similar activity in both of like physical activity, right? You're going on a walk, you're going on a run, you're going on a trek on the mountains. You understand how the person feels, physically, and that person understands how you feel physically. So that's bodily empathy plus cognitive empathy, where you understand how the other person feels and thinks on their mind's level, on a mental level, and the other person also understands how you feel and think on a mental level. But again, disclaimer: you don't have to agree on the things that you understand that those people feel and think about. You just have to understand what they're talking about. You don't have to always agree, right? And so bodily empathy, how you feel in your body, and you understand how the other person feels, and the other person understands how you feel in your body, plus cognitive empathy. So bodily empathy plus cognitive empathy. Cognitive empathy, you understand how the person feels and thinks, and vice versa. That results in a strong bond as well. Like, though, I think, having one or the other in those situations is nice, like having a synchronization of cognitive states where you understand the other person feel, blah blah blah, right? When you understand that, that's a good strong bond indicator. And when you have a shared physiology and whatever, that's also a good strong bond indicator. But when you have both added together, which I think it's quite a bit. It is a bit of effort, but I feel like it's fucking worth it. I mean, if you're building such a fucking strong bond, like imagine a strong bond indicator from there, and from bodily empathy and from cognitive empathy, two different things, good strong bond indicators. You merge those together, you have even a stronger bond indicator, like something that indicates that you're gonna have a strong bond with this person. And so doing activities while keeping that in mind, maybe if you're currently talking to the girl and you think that she's the one that you want to try to be with, then maybe you set up the dates, maybe you set up the environment, the conversations, the place and environment where you're having your conversations and everything based on those things, based on those aspects that I've mentioned. Maybe you decide to go on a run together, and maybe you start paying extra attention to what she feels and thinks, and hopefully she's doing the same thing as well. She's also paying attention to how you feel. I think that's gonna be a strong bond. Maybe you go on a mountain hike together. Maybe you go and you eat some really tasty food that you both like, and it's hopefully not McDonald's, together, and you make an effort to understand how she feels and thinks, blah blah blah. That's gonna make a strong bond. And I also have here some very interesting information from some some psychologists who have been dealing with relationship issues and all kinds of things like that for a good strong while. And they literally, like, there's two people, right? Those two people, they were able to predict when people were ever gonna break up, or remain together. And they had like a 94% prediction, like a correct prediction. My fucking brain went down for a second there. When they have like those people, like those two psychologists, like who are working on all those relationship aspects, like they have like a 94% prediction chance of whether this couple is gonna break up or not. Like, it's that simple, right? They have a 94% chance of telling you correctly whether you're gonna break up or not. That's pretty fucking huge. 94%. Like they've been right with like the thousands of people that they've done this to for 94% of the time. Like that is a huge fucking number, man. And so they put up this kind of idea that there are several fucking things that they've noticed in people breaking up, and that they noticed that determine several traits, several not traits like bad traits, right? Several things that would really determine that, right? And they call this the four horsemen of breaking up, right? Not the four horsemen of the apocalypse, the four horsemen of breaking up. As in those horsemen, they're like bringing news of the breakup. They're kind of predicting it, right? So the first one, there's four of them, right? Hence the name, the four horsemen. The first one is criticism, and I need to kind of make it clear, right? Criticism to some extent is good, but if you take it over the top, it can be kind of fucking bullshit. You annoy the other person annoys you, you end up being pissed off, things don't work out, right? So I'm just gonna tell them in order, and then I'm gonna go on to them. It's criticism, it's defensiveness, it's stonewalling, and it's contempt. It's four of them, right? First, criticism. Two, defensiveness. Three, stonewalling. Four, contempt. So criticism, I told you, it's when you criticize somebody else's appearance, maybe everything, whatever it can be, right? And again, it has its place in small quantity, but if it's something that's like just over the top, then it's gonna be fucking bad. Don't fucking do that, right? Defensiveness is a lack of empathy. It's when you're just always in this defensive stance against the other person, and you refuse to understand how the other person feels and thinks, and so you're just, how'd you call it? You're just always in this defensive state. And that's gonna really fracture a relationship between two people. If you can understand how the other person feels and thinks, so you can kind of regulate yourself based on their perception, and the other person cannot regulate themselves based on how you feel and everything, it's gonna be fractured. Like there's no way around it. And free stonewalling is where basically, imagine like you're just running down and there's like suddenly a fucking stone wall in front of you. You take a corner and like a huge fucking stone wall in front of you. That's like imagining the emotional response being cut off. I mean, you're trying to talk to your partner about something, and the other person, you're trying to explain something to them, or maybe you're trying to get them to understand a concept or an idea or something, and then they cut off that emotional response. Or maybe, you're happy and everything, and they just cut it off. They're like, yeah, like they're the exact opposite of what they should be, right? They're just cutting you off. They're cutting off your happiness. They're cutting off your sense of anything. You're cutting off your emotional response, or you're cutting off the other person's emotional response. You're not letting those people actually express themselves freely. You're just stonewalling them. You're just fucking throwing a stone wall in front of them. Or you're throwing them in front of a stone wall, because I don't think you're going to be able to move a stone wall that well. And the fourth horseman of breaking up is contempt. And they've ranked this as the clearest sign of breaking up. So contempt is the clearest sign that two people are gonna break up. And contempt basically means the feeling that a person is beneath the other one, or that a person actively dislikes the other. So, you're both having a nice time together, or maybe you think that you are, and you yourself, you're having a great time, but the other person, you see her, I'm guessing that she's a girl, right? You see her looking at her, and she's just there, and she's not having it. And I'm like, oh, what's going on? She's just fucking rolling her eyes, or just acting like a bitch. She's acting like she's higher than that, or she just dislikes you, right? Contempt. Or you feel like that person, that girl, she just feels like she's above you, and or at least that you're beneath her to some extent. Or, the other way around, you feel like as if she's beneath you. You feel as if she's kind of wrong all the time. She's like bullshitting and shit. And you're always having like this low perceived opinion of her, right? That she's always under. She's like always like, I don't know, not worthy of the respect that you should give her and the love and everything. And so this is the clear sign of breaking up. And I can kind of understand how it is, right? That you break up because of contempt. Because I wouldn't want to be in a relationship like that. And nobody, I think, would feel nice being in that kind of a situation where the person, or you're feeling as if the other person is under you, or you feel like the other person feels like they're above you, right? It just doesn't work out. Or when you just actively dislike each other, like that's just not gonna fucking work out. So this was my video on how to avoid a bad relationship, or how to at least, realize when a bad relationship is near or when it's happening, and how to get away from it. So yeah, I'm not gonna make this any longer because it's already a huge video. I hope you got some value out of this video because I spent a bit of time making it. If you want to help me out, then you can subscribe to the channel, you can share the video around, yada yada, you can like the video. You can also comment, if that's also going to help with the YouTube algorithm, kind of mention this to more people. You can also join my Discord server if you want to take the talk and you want to talk more about it personally to me. To me, bro. Like, that's crazy, isn't it? So yeah. Good luck, bro. See you later.